What's up, fam? How y'all doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. So, check this out. I came across a very funny interview. This is with the rapper Boosie, and he sat down with a podcast called Posted on the Corner, which is based out of Atlanta. So, he basically went off on the way that this rapper, Young Miami, uh, basically became a no show for one of his shows. Apparently, she used her manager to let him know that she wasn't going to show up because she didn't prepare herself in time for the show. Take a look.
It was a situation with Young Miami. She couldn't make it.
Yes, she couldn't prepare herself. That's what they said. It was no excuse. I paid my deposit. I got my drop. She had a show the night before. I already knew that, right? Can I get it right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. The next night she had a show too, right?
Right.
But she doesn't have to be to that show to 12:30. I had her flight getting her to Tampa at 10 o'clock. Everything was cool. Her manager called me. I can't stand a damn manager. A manager called me and said she can't do it. I say, why? And I was so upset because I couldn't get the reason on why. She was saying she had a show the night before. I'm like, if she fly in at 9 and 10 o'clock, she don't have to be deported from 5 to 7. They say she couldn't get herself together from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Whoa.
I just wasn't feeling it. And I wanted pretty face there. That's what I call a pretty face. I wanted pretty face there. But I don't know. If you can't get yourself together and I don't get it. I don't get it. I guess it's a woman thing. But I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Girl, get ready in 40 minutes. I don't mean no harm, but I know I'm dealing with a different caliber. But I just felt in my heart that was an excuse. Because it don't take you that damn long to get ready. It don't. And I was hurt. Miami hurt me. She hurt my feelings. Pretty face hurt my feelings.
It was just communication with the manager. No Miami, she ain't reach out.
She reached out after the manager reached out, after I cursed him out and told him, I'm finna, after I told him, I'm finna go off on this manager because I haven't even talked to Miami and you just called she can't do it. I know my artist. What? Boy, you a boy. I know my artist. She won't be able to get it ready in time. And that just rubbed me the wrong way because me and Miami got a relationship as far as that's like my little sister. And I felt like I was pissed.
You remember how he came to you?
Yes, he just straight, she can't do it. That's what the text was.
Oh.
She can't do it. I then when I got on the phone, I know my artist. She won't be able to get ready. She has a show the day before. What that has to do with anything? I called him every name in the book.
Now, I agree with Boosie. I'm all for him because there was no valid excuse for this woman to not show up and talking about she didn't have enough time to prepare. Now, her manager was dead wrong for that. All he had to do was just say she wasn't going to be able to make it or she didn't feel like coming. Like, I just don't understand. Why can't people just be honest? Be honest. Talking about she couldn't prepare herself in time or she ain't going to make it because she got a show the night before. That's an excuse, just like Boosie said. And he made me laugh at the beginning of this video because he said she didn't have enough time to prepare herself. Because he said the average woman in Baton Rouge, Louisiana takes 40 minutes to get ready. You know, I understand there are a lot of girly girls out there, you know, who take their sweet time getting their hair done, nails done, lashes done, facials done, you name it, the whole works. Looking for an outfit, going to places like Shein and Fashion Nova and all these other places. But again, when you're in this type of space, especially in the music industry, and it's a business, you cannot just tell somebody at the last minute that they're a no-show, especially somebody like Boosie who makes money and tours around the world like clockwork. You know, there's a fine line between being a professional and just being an ignorant ass Negro. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Young Miami, I wouldn't dare collaborate with because one, I already know what type of person she is, even though I don't know her from a can of paint. But I could tell from the attitude and from the music she does, she don't give a damn about nobody but herself. Very, very selfish person. It doesn't matter how pretty the person is. If they're ignorant, they're going to be ignorant. Even if they got money. Like, they don't care. I don't understand why people waste their times with artists like her. You know, I did a little digging. And apparently she was part of the hip-hop duo City Girls, if y'all remember City Girls. She also dated Diddy back in the day. And it lasted for like maybe a couple of years or some shit. But it just fascinates me how people rely on, again, ignorant black folks like Young Miami, who is also very popular right now and trending for that stupid song, Spin That Shit. Where all my scamming ass. Yeah, she's the one who sings that song. A very bad influence to our culture, especially as black people. I don't care for the music. I personally think she sucks. I know a lot of y'all are probably gonna get mad. Go ahead, call me all the names in the book, but I'm just saying how I feel. I'm just saying my opinion. I feel like, there's no good music anymore. And as a millennial coming from the Lil Jon and the East Side Boys era and Boosie and Master P and all of them, that was good music to me. That was fun. This is when hip hop was like party life. It was fun. You could be yourself. You didn't have to worry about all this glamour and, doing it for the gram and trying to be hyped for every little event. Now, I feel like the music industry is extremely evil to the point where they got, young girls and young boys questioning themselves, thinking that they're not good enough because they're not wearing a certain designer shirt or, certain designer bag or whatever, or shoes. And it's like, now it's a money game, The more flashier they are, the more popular they are. And I'm not for it. I don't care for it. I'm like this. I love hip hop. I love artists like Boosie. I love artists, like, who's another one that's really good? I'm trying to think. Juvenile. All types of artists from all types of backgrounds who actually have talent. Keyword, talent and skills. When you're a lyricist and you have talent and you go out there and you grind and you work hard and it means something to the community, it's different, Prime example, KRS-One, old school rapper. I'm pretty sure it's way before some of y'all's times. I know a lot of the Gen Z are like, who's KRS-One? People like Run DMC had a huge influence on the community, on hip hop. It was positive hip hop. But now we're living in a time where we have all these little teeny boppers and they want to wear, all this provocative clothing and influence the younger people with bad shit. You got people out here half naked on stages, especially performing on daytime television. You got people on the Grammy Awards, like Justin Bieber, for example, performing in his boxers last year during the Grammy Awards. They just don't care. The music is trash. I hate to say it, but the music is trash. There's no real talent anymore. It's like if you have a pretty face, you have a BBL, a pretty body, and you're thick, and you got a long weave down your back, you might get a record deal, even though you sound like shit. Be honest. Because when I listened to some of this lady's music, the Young Miami chick he was talking about, none of it, and I mean absolutely none of it, was talent. There was no thought put into it. It was just a bunch of words scrambled with a beat behind it. That's all they do. They scrambling words, putting beats behind it, making it sound good, and make it sound catchy to get people's attention, to get a bag. And then it goes somewhere like on Spotify or Apple Music or Pandora or whatever, and call it a day. I'm just like this. What's the point of dealing with ignorant people, or ignorant Negroes in this case, like her, when there are way more talented people out there that actually make good songs, sell records, sell arenas, and you don't even think twice to collaborate with them, but you want to collaborate with her? Of all people, like you couldn't think of nobody else. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these rappers now, especially the men, they don't care who they collaborate with. They don't put no thought into it. As long as they see there's somebody, like I said, with a pretty face, a nice body, and a BBL, and it gets everybody's attention, they're going to put them on their tour. They're going to put them on a show. You know, the only one that I know that's sure, for damn sure, is not going to be on anybody's tour anytime soon is Nicki Minaj. I think she has been banned from the Black community because of her recent collaboration with her friend Donald Trump. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But at the end of the day, I'm just like this. To each his own. You know, you can like what you want to like. You know, you can listen to what you want to listen. But pay attention to what they're actually saying. Then it makes you start to think twice. You know, people are not paying attention to the lyrics. If you pay attention to some of the lyrics, especially with that Young Miami chick with that spin that shit, boosting ass bitches. Excuse me? So not only are you encouraging younger crowds to steal and think it's cool to commit crimes, but it's very trashy. It's not a good song. You know? It's like you're trying to bring down the community. You're making us look bad as a people, especially as Black people. You're making us look bad, period. I don't care what nobody says. You know, the men are just as bad. The men talk about women being hoes and all types of other stuff, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, when women talk about each other and then like influence stuff, bad stuff like stealing and boosting and whatever and scamming, what's the point of listening to the music? What's the point of showing up to a show? Answer that question. What's the point of spending your hard-earned dollars to go support a trash can artist with no real talent? Just like I said, a pretty face with a long, quick weave and a BBL. That's all it is. And a few beats behind it. That's all it is. A nice face and a beat behind the music to make it catchy, to make people listen to it. It's horrible. It's a horrible world we live in. But y'all let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below.